You hatch from an egg somewhere in the Amazon River, and the moment your body is free, the current pulls you sideways along the riverbed with hundreds of your siblings breaking out of their eggs around you at the same time. The male that guarded the nest turns and swims away the moment the eggs open, so there is nothing between you and the rest of the river. You need to eat, so you drop toward the riverbed and find a piece of egg debris to lock onto, pulling at it with the small teeth already lining your jaw. Then a catfish moves through the nest with its mouth sweeping along the bottom, swallowing hatchlings as it goes. You let go and push into the weeds at the edge of the nest, pressing yourself against the base of the stems where the catfish can't turn easily. You watch it work through the center of the nest, taking everything it passes over, and then move out the other side and disappear. But before you can move back out, a juvenile piranha from a shoal nearby moves in along the edge of the weeds with its body angled low, picking off the siblings that are still exposed near the surface. It's bigger than anything in the nest, and it moves from one to the next without slowing down. You push deeper into the vegetation and go completely still, with your body pressed flat against a root at the base of the weeds. The juvenile takes what it wants and then follows the catfish out into open water, leaving the nest almost empty behind it. You stay in the weeds for a long time after that, watching the open water and waiting. You survive the first day by staying completely out of sight, but the weeds won't protect you forever, and at some point you'll have to move out into open water where everything can see you. You're a few weeks old now, and you've joined a small shoal of juveniles your own age, spending your days moving through the shallows near the riverbank and feeding on insects and tiny larvae that collect near the surface. A wounded fish drifts into the shallows with its body tilting sideways, and every piranha in the shoal turns toward it at the same time. You need to eat, so you drive in from the side with your jaw already open, tearing a strip from its flank and pulling back to swallow. Then a much larger piranha crashes in from below with its body hitting the group and scattering everyone sideways. It takes the rest of the fish in one pass and leaves. That's the first important thing you learn. Being first to a kill also means being the most visible thing in the water. A river dolphin moves into the shallows a short time later with its body cutting toward the shoal from the side. It's trying to push the group into shallower water, where the individuals at the edges are easier to pick off one by one. The shoal tightens up as the dolphin closes in, with every juvenile pulling toward the center, so the group becomes one large moving shape instead of many small ones. The dolphin tries to follow the outside edge, trying to separate a single fish from the rest, but the shoal keeps pulling back together so the dolphin can't isolate anyone. Then the whole group turns toward a thick tangle of roots along the bank and pushes into the gaps, spreading out behind the wood where the dolphin can't follow. The dolphin circles twice outside the roots and then turns back into open water. You hold your position behind the roots until it's gone. Moving as one group is what kept you alive just now. But the shoal won't always be enough, and as you grow, other piranhas are going to start seeing you as competition rather than company. You're a few months old now, and the dry season has pulled the river back so far that your shoal is packed into a shrinking pool with hundreds of other fish pressing in from every side. Food is running out, so the piranhas in the group start turning on each other, nipping at the fins and tails of whoever is closest. One drives into your side with its jaw catching your flank, so you spin and bite back hard enough that it pulls away and goes for someone else instead. That's how it works in here. You have to be the one that bites harder. A large wading bird lands at the edge of the pool and starts picking fish off the surface one by one with its beak stabbing straight down and pulling back up each time. You need to stay out of its reach, so you drop lower in the water and keep away from the surface where the other fish are still bunching together and making themselves easy targets. Then a caiman slides into the pool from the bank, with its body pushing through the group and sending fish scattering in every direction. You need to get out of the open, so you drive toward the far edge of the pool and press yourself under a root that sticks out from the bank, holding your position there with your fins pushing against the current. The caiman sweeps its jaw through the center of the pool, trying to catch whatever it can, but it's too big to reach you under the root, so it misses you completely. A few days later, the water rises just enough to connect the pool to a narrow channel leading back to the main river, so you move with the current and follow it out. You leave the pool and the bird and the caiman behind. But the river you're moving back into is bigger now, and the things that hunt in it are bigger too. You're 1 year old now, and your teeth have fully come in, with the top and bottom rows locking together like two blades closing when your mouth shuts. You're a full member of the shoal, moving with it through a wide bend in the river when a large fish appears ahead with its body tilting slightly to one side as it moves. It's been wounded somewhere upstream, and it can't hold a straight line. The shoal picks up on it immediately and starts closing in from multiple sides. So you push forward with the group and drive in from the left, opening your jaw and biting into its flank before pulling back to let another piranha take your spot. That's how the shoal feeds. You rotate in and out, each pass taking a piece, with the group working through the fish from every angle at once. Then a second shoal arrives from downstream, drawn in by the same thing, and the two groups collide around the carcass with piranhas from both sides biting at whatever is closest. It's not just the wounded fish getting bitten anymore. You pull back to the outside of the group to stay out of the worst of it, circling and watching the two shoals fight over the middle, waiting for a gap to open up. Then one does, so you drive back in hard from the side, push through to the carcass, and tear the last significant piece of flesh free before pulling back out again. A moment later, there's nothing left but bone turning slowly in the current. That's the first time you've fed from a kill that large, and your teeth made it possible. But a fully grown piranha operating alone is a target, and soon you'll have to decide whether the shoal is still protecting you or just competing with you. Skip forward a bit, and you're 2 years old now. The wet season has pushed the river over its banks and into the flooded forest. So you follow the water in between the trees, where fruit, insects, and small animals have collected near the surface. You're feeding alone on a piece of fallen fruit near a submerged root when a large river otter drops into the water from the bank above you with its body angling straight toward you. You need to get away, so you turn and push toward the root, but the otter cuts across your path before you reach it, forcing you into open water with its body blocking the gap. It lunges at you with its jaw opening wide, so you turn sideways and drive your dorsal spine up toward its face as it closes in. The spine catches the inside of its paw, making it pull back and shake its leg. That 1 second is enough, so you push through the gap the otter just opened and drive yourself into the tangle of submerged roots along the base of a tree. The otter follows to the edge of the roots, trying to reach you by pushing its head into the gaps. But the wood is too tightly packed for its body to follow, so it pulls back out and circles the outside a few times before giving up and going back to the bank. You hold your position in the roots until the otter is gone, then come back out into open water and rejoin the shoal moving through the trees nearby. That's the first time your spine stopped something from eating you, and it worked because you turned into the attack instead of away from it. Your teeth and spines are no longer just tools for feeding, but the flooded forest pulls the water back to the river eventually, and when it does, you'll move with it into territory that belongs to something much harder to turn away from. You're 4 years old now, and your body has reached its full size, making you one of the largest piranhas in the shoal. The group is moving along a wide bend in the river when a tapir wades into the shallows on the far bank with its legs pushing through the water as it drops its head to drink. The shoal slows and holds its position, watching. One piranha from the edge breaks away and moves toward the tapir, so you follow behind it with several others pulling in behind you, the group forming a loose line as it closes the gap. The lead piranha bites into the tapir's leg, making it kick hard and stumble sideways into deeper water. That's the moment the whole shoal commits, driving in from every side at once. You go in from below with your jaw opening wide and bite into the belly, pulling a strip free before another piranha drives in and takes your spot. The tapir kicks again with its legs pushing through the group in every direction, knocking several piranhas sideways, so you pull back and circle underneath while the rest of the shoal keeps driving in from the sides. But the tapir rights itself and pushes back toward the bank with its legs churning hard through the water, reaching the shallows before the shoal can pull it back. It climbs out onto the bank with blood running down its leg and stands there. And the shoal spreads out in the water below without following it any further. You didn't bring it down and neither did the group, but you understand now exactly how the shoal decides to commit to something. One animal tests the edge and the rest follow if it goes far enough. You're the largest piranha here now. Soon, you'll be the one that goes first. You're 6 years old now, and the dry season has pulled the river back to a narrow channel with the shoal packed tightly into a stretch of water that's getting smaller every day. You're the largest piranha here, and when you want to feed, you move to the front and the others pull aside. A school of small fish pushes into the channel from a side stream, so you drive straight through the center of the group with your jaw opening and closing as you go, taking what you want while the rest of the shoal hits the edges. You eat well, and the smaller piranhas around you take what's left after you're done. Then a large electric eel moves into the channel from downstream with its body sweeping slowly along the riverbed. Several piranhas from the shoal close in around it, trying to bite at its sides, and the eel discharges, throwing all of them backward through the water at once. They right themselves and hold back after that, keeping their distance while the eel continues through the channel. You watch from the edge of the group without moving in. You've seen what happens when a piranha bites into something it doesn't fully understand. So you hold your position and let the eel pass through. It takes a while, but eventually the eel moves out the far end of the channel and the shoal closes back behind it. That's the difference between you now and the piranha you were 2 years ago. You know which fights are worth starting. You've held this stretch of river longer than any other piranha here, and the shoal follows your lead because of it. But the dry season keeps pulling the water back, and a smaller river means every predator in it is pushed closer together. Something is going to come into this channel that you won't be able to simply wait out. You're 8 years old now, and you're moving alone through a quiet stretch of the river when you spot a large fish wedged against a sunken log, with its body tilting sideways and its fins barely moving. It's dying, so you move toward it and start feeding on your own, something you almost never do. You bite into its side and pull back, then drive in again, taking your time with the whole carcass to yourself. Then a giant river otter drops from the bank above you and lands in the water directly on top of your body, with its jaws closing across your back before you register the movement. You thrash hard and twist your body around far enough to drive your teeth into its leg, biting through and locking your jaw down. But the otter doesn't let go. It's far bigger than the one you turned away in the flooded forest 3 years ago, and your spine isn't enough to stop something this size from the position it has you in. It tightens its grip and pulls you upward toward the surface with your body twisting against its hold the whole way up. The otter breaks the surface and shakes you once, hard, with your whole body whipping sideways from the force of it. Then it bites down again directly behind your head, and your body goes still. It carries you to a flat rock on the bank with its legs pushing up out of the water, pins you down, and opens you from below with quick, clean bites, eating through your side and working inward. What it doesn't finish, it leaves on the rock. The current eventually pulls the rest back into the river, carrying it downstream in pieces. The shoal is still moving through the channel below, and by the time the pieces reach them, there's nothing left to recognize.